Can you think of a time when you surprisingly had a good conversation with someone? And can you think of a time when you surprisingly had a bad conversation with someone? Well, in this video, I'll be talking about social judgment theory. I'll be explaining a little bit about what this theory is and how it played a role in my life during my how it played a role in my life last year at a basketball event. To start off, social judgment theory is a theory that describes how we evaluate a message that we hear. Basically, we have anchors or certain reference point positions for how we judge the message we hear. Now, when it comes to judging a message, we have three options, which are latitude of acceptance, latitude of non-committal, and latitude of rejection. For example, imagine someone comes up to you and is talking to you about the new Avengers movie, and they're talking to you about how good the movie was and how it lived up to its expectation, and you believe them and accepted this, you will be someone who fell under latitude of acceptance. Now, if you were someone who has never watched a Marvel movie and you don't really care about them, and honestly, and you really don't want to hear about it, you will be someone who fell under latitude of non-committal. Now, if you were someone who has watched Marvel movies in the past and honestly has not been satisfied about them, and you're tired of hearing the next one's going to be the best one, you will fall under latitude of rejection. Now, another example to give you a better understanding of this theory is imagine somebody was talking to you about the Brockport football team, and it was telling you how this team has done so well going back to back winning championships and how much they've done for the program, and you accepted and believe this, you would fall under latitude of acceptance. Now, if you were someone who has never heard of Brockport or watched football ever and don't really care about it, you would fall under latitude of non-committal. Now, if you were, I would say you were a Brockport fan 3 to 4 years ago when Brockport was going 5-5, back-to-back seasons, and every year was supposed to be that year for Brockport, and you were kind of tired of you were really tired of hearing it, you will fall under latitude of rejection. If you have a lot of ego involvement with a topic, meaning it's very personal to you, which means you definitely have clear latitude of acceptance. And if you don't have ego involved in the topic, that means you're going to fall under latitude of non-committal. Now, to give you a better understanding, Oklahoma City Thunder is my favorite basketball team. And so when talking about that topic, it's very personal to me because it's my favorite, so I'm definitely undergoing ego involvement there. Now, why is this important? Well, last year when I was at the basketball event, I met a guy named Matt Spear. And at this event, me and Matt sat there at a table and folded towels all day for the players. And cell phones weren't allowed, so it was really just me and Matt sitting there talking the whole time. Now, it was very hard for me and Matt to have a conversation because the topics Matt would bring up were all topics I was very familiar with. For example, Matt, one topic we talked about video games. Now, Matt and I both play video games. However, the video games he were talking about were video games I really had no idea, except for one of them, which was Overwatch. So I guess in that moment, I was undergoing latitude of acceptance because I accepted and believed we was talking about for the game Overwatch. Now, when we talk about sports, we talked about hockey. Hockey is a sport that I don't watch. I've never watched, ever, and I'm not familiar with it. However, Matt loves hockey, and Matt kept going on and on about hockey. And so at that moment, I was going under latitude of non-committal because I had no idea what he was talking about, and I kind of was just letting him go on. Now, one topic. Now it was funny at the event because there they fed the staff lasagna, and lasagna is a food that I've hated my whole life. It just never went well with my stomach, and I've tried lasagna plenty of times, and each time has gone wrong. And Matt was trying to convince me that his mom lasagna was the best one, and if I tried hers, I was going to fall in love, and I'd be a lasagna fan. And at that moment, as he was talking, I kind of was like, you know what, Matt, I've heard it so many times. I'm kind of just not even listening. I fell under latitude of rejection because it was something that I've heard too many times. Now, another topic that Matt talked about were TV shows, but however, he talked about TV shows like Breaking Bad. He watched a lot of anime and How to Get Away with Murder, and these are TV shows that I never watched before. And so at that moment, I was falling under latitude of non-committal. Now, one topic that Matt did bring up that I was very interested in was we talked about Colin Kaepernick and kneeling during the national anthem and about the protesting situation. And at that moment, I've had a lot of ego involvement because that is a personal topic for me, being a football player, and about the national anthem. And I recently wrote a paper about that topic as well. So that's why that topic had a lot of ego involvement for me. Talking to Matt was a very good experience because I was able to sit there and undergo social judgment theory and experience latitude of acceptance, latitude of non-committal, latitude of rejection, and ego involvement the whole time without even knowing it. In conclusion, this theory is very important because if I had known this theory, I would have understood why it was so hard for me to match time with conversation. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope it all gave you a better understanding of social judgment theory. Thank you.